Every species voted to enslave Earth. Now they all beg for mercy. The Grand Council chamber pulsed with anticipation as thousands of species gathered for what would become the most regrettable vote in galactic history. I, High Counselor Zara Vex of the Centauri Alliance, stood at the center podium, my scaled skin reflecting the shimmer of countless holochems. Members of the Galactic Federation, I announced, my voice echoing through the vast chamber. We gather today to address the question of Earth and its inhabitants. The chamber erupted in excited chittering and warbles. First speaker Rilo Nam, with his characteristic violet phosphorescent glow, raised all four appendages. High Counselor, the humans have rejected our offers of membership 3 times. They dared to question our benevolence. Supreme Commander Kitha Dawn, her metallic exoskeleton gleaming under the chamber lights, clicked her mandibles in agreement. Their civilization barely qualifies as Type 1. They still burn fossil fuels for void's sake. Order, my tail slammed against the podium. We have studied the humans extensively. Their resistance to joining our federation cannot be tolerated. They possess resources we require, and their continued independence threatens our authority in the Orion Arm. Ambassador Yix of the Proxima Collective waved his sensory tentacles. But their military capabilities? Surely they could pose some resistance. Laughter rippled through the chamber. General Dron Thar, his massive form towering over the other representatives, rumbled with amusement. Their most advanced weapons systems are primitive projectile launchers and crude nuclear devices. Our smallest scout ships could neutralize their entire orbital defense network. What of their supposed adaptability? Asked Queen Mind Senna Lux, her holographic form flickering with concern. Our research suggests humans show remarkable. Irrelevant, interrupted War Master Kraz, his cybernetic eye pulsing red. They are divided into nearly 200 separate political entities. They wage war against themselves over resources and ideology. They will never unite against a superior force. I nodded, satisfaction coursing through my neural pathways. The motion before the Council is simple. We will deploy our combined fleets to Earth, establish control over their military and governmental facilities, and begin the systematic integration of their population into our labor force. The vote was displayed on the massive screens surrounding the chamber. Species after species registered their approval. The Arcturus Confederation. Yes, the Silicon Collective. Yes, the Hive Networks of Vega. Yes, the Quantum Consciousness of Sirius. Yes. As the final votes were tallied, I allowed myself a moment of pride. The motion passes unanimously. Earth will be subdued and its resources appropriated for the greater good of the Federation. Celebration erupted throughout the chamber. Various species congratulated each other on their wise decision. Plans were already being made for the distribution of Earth's resources and population. The invasion fleet will launch within 1 planetary rotation, I announced. Our most conservative estimates suggest complete pacification within their lunar cycle. War Master Kraz's laughter boomed through the chamber. I wager it won't take half that long. These humans still think their planet is flat. That's only a small percentage, corrected Science Director Pelvora, her crystalline form refracting light across the chamber. Though I must admit, their persistent belief in supernatural deities does suggest a charming primitiveness. I raised my hand for silence. Let the record show that on this day the Galactic Federation unanimously approved the subjugation of Earth. May our wisdom be remembered through the ages. As the chamber began to empty, Queen Mind Senna Lux's hologram approached my podium. High Counselor, I cannot shake a feeling of unease. Perhaps we should conduct more studies of human psychology before proceeding. I dismissed her concerns with a wave. Your caution does you credit, Queen Mind, but it is misplaced. What could these primitives possibly do against the combined might of 1,000 advanced civilizations? How wrong we were. How catastrophically, monumentally wrong. Looking back now, I can pinpoint this moment as the beginning of our downfall. We were so convinced of our superiority, so certain of our invincibility, that we never stopped to consider one simple truth: sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one you underestimate. The humans were about to teach us that lesson, and the tuition would be paid in blood. Our invasion fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, 10,000 ships strong, blocking out their sun from the Western Hemisphere. I watched from the command bridge of our flagship, the Eternal Dominion, as the primitive satellites around Earth went dark one by one. Their global communications network is severed, reported Fleet Commander Sarvin, his tentacles rippling with pleasure. Their military installations are targeting us with their quaint nuclear weapons. Let them fire, I ordered, almost bored. Let them see how futile their resistance is. The humans launched everything they had. Missiles streaked across the sky like desperate fireworks, only to dissipate harmlessly against our shield barriers. Their most powerful weapons could not even scratch our hull paint. Launch the EMP wave I commanded. The pulse rippled across their planet like a silent tide. Cities went dark. Aircraft fell from the sky. Their mighty warships became nothing more than floating metal coffins. Phase 1 complete, announced General Dran Thar through the comm link. Deploying ground forces. Our dropships descended through their atmosphere, targeting their seats of power. Washington, Moscow, Beijing, London all fell within hours. Their military bases were neutralized by our neural disruptors. Their bunkers were cracked open by our gravity weapons. Their leaders were captured or eliminated with surgical precision. I remember watching the humans running through their streets, panic-stricken, as our processing drones herded them into containment fields. Some tried to fight back with their primitive projectile weapons. The bullets bounced off our force fields, and we laughed. Look at them, sneered War Master Kraz as we observed the collection process. They try to resist with sticks and stones against a civilization that has mastered dark energy. The processing centers were established in every major city. Humans were tagged, categorized, and assigned roles based on their physical capabilities. The strong would work in our mines. The intelligent would serve in our research facilities. The rest would be distributed throughout the Federation as general labor. Remarkable adaptability in their physical form, noted Science Director Pelvora, examining the latest specimen reports. They can survive in almost any environment with minimal modification. Perfect slaves, agreed Supreme Commander Kithadan. And they breed quickly too. We will never lack for workers again. Within a week, Earth's major population centers were under our complete control. Their militaries were dismantled, their governments dissolved, their resistance crushed. Victory celebrations erupted across the Federation worlds. I attended the grandest celebration on the Eternal Dominion. Representatives from 100 species gathered to toast our success. The ship's grand hall was filled with holographic displays showing the ongoing processing of human specimens. To efficiency toasted Ambassador Yix, his tentacles wrapped around a glass of quantum wine. Not a single Federation casualty. To superiority added Queen Mind Senna Lux. Their most advanced AI could not even penetrate our basic firewalls. To profit declared Trade Minister Zox Ren, his scales shimmering with excitement. Their planet's resources will fuel our expansion for centuries. I raised my own glass, feeling rather pleased with myself. To the Federation, may our dominion be eternal. The celebrations continued long into the night cycle. We congratulated ourselves on our perfect strategy, our flawless execution, our complete victory. We drafted plans for Earth's resources, assigned quotas for human labor, and designed new processing centers to handle the increasing throughput. My counselor, a junior officer, interrupted our festivities. We have an anomaly report from Processing Center 47. Handle it yourself, I waved him away. This is a time for celebration. But sir, the humans they were processing, they just disappeared. Impossible, I snapped. Check your sensors. We did, sir. Multiple times. 300 specimens vanished without a trace. And sir, it's not just Center 47. We are getting similar reports from Centers 23, 89, and 112. I felt a slight tremor of unease but quickly dismissed it. A sensor malfunction, nothing more. Increase security if you must, but do not disturb me with such trivial matters again. The officer bowed and retreated. I turned back to my celebrating colleagues, pushing the report to the back of my mind. What did it matter if a few humans had slipped through our nets? They had nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Their planet was ours, their civilization was broken, their species was conquered. We had won. Or so we thought. Looking back now, I realize that moment was our second mistake. We were so busy celebrating our victory that we failed to notice the first signs of our doom. Those disappearing humans weren't running away. They were gathering, planning, preparing. And we, in our arrogance, never saw it coming. The first real sign that something was wrong came 3 weeks after our initial victory. Base Commander Trelvor of Processing Center 89 vanished during his routine inspection. Security footage showed him entering the human containment area, but never leaving. Probably got lost, suggested War Master Kraz when I reported the incident. These humans all looked the same. He probably took a wrong turn. But the next day, 3 more officers disappeared from different facilities. Then 5 the day after. Then 12. Always during routine inspections, always without a trace. My Counselor Fleet Commander, Ixar Vin, contacted me, his tentacles twisting with anxiety. We found Base Commander Trelvor. Excellent. Where? In orbit. Or rather, pieces of him. His molecular structure had been completely disassembled. It appears he was teleported into space, but the teleporter was imperfect. I felt my scales bristle. Impossible. Humans don't have teleportation technology. They didn't, corrected Science Director Pelvora, rushing into my chamber. High Counselor, we have a massive problem. The humans in our research facilities, they are learning. Not just operating our technology, but understanding it, improving it. I dismissed her concerns. They are barely above primitive primates. How could they possibly? You don't understand, she interrupted, her crystalline form pulsing with distress. Their learning speed is unprecedented. They see a device once and comprehend its basic principles. Twice, and they can operate it. 3 times, and they are suggesting improvements. Before I could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Supreme Commander Kitha Dawn's voice crackled over the comm system. Security breach in Processing Center 112. The humans, they are using our own neural disruptors against us. I rushed to the command center, watching in disbelief as chaos unfolded across our monitoring screens. Humans were breaking free of their containment fields, wielding stolen Federation weapons with impossible precision. Our own security forces lay unconscious, their neural patterns scrambled by familiar-looking devices held by their former prisoners. How did they modify our weapons so quickly, demanded General Dronthar. The safety protocols should have prevented. Sir, a junior officer burst in, panic evident in his bioluminescent patterns. We have lost contact with Processing Centers 23, 47, 89, and 112. Launch containment drones, I ordered. We can't, sir. Our drone control network has been compromised. Someone or something is broadcasting an override signal using Federation protocols. Reports flooded in from across the planet. More disappearances, more breakouts, more stolen technology. Our lower-ranked officers began requesting transfers off-planet. Some simply deserted their posts. The humans in Section 7 reported a terrified technician. They dismantled their containment field generator. Not destroyed, dismantled. Then they rebuilt it into something else. Something our sensors can't identify. Queen Mind Senna Lux's hologram appeared in the command center. High Counselor, I hate to say this, but I believe we severely underestimated. No, I slammed my tail against the floor. They are primitives. This is simply a minor insurgency. Increase security protocols. Double the guard patrols. Triple the neural suppression fields. Sir Ambassador Yix's voice shook as he spoke. We found more officers in orbit. Dozens of them. All teleported. All disassembled. But the pattern is changing. The teleportation technology is becoming more precise with each attempt. They are learning from their mistakes. Trade Minister Zox Ren burst into the command center. The humans in my resource extraction facilities. They are gone. All of them. But before they left, they reconfigured our mining drones. The drones are now tunneling in patterns we can't predict. They are creating some kind of underground network. I watched in growing horror as more reports poured in. Humans weren't just escaping, they were taking our technology with them. Learning it, adapting it, improving it, and most terrifying of all, they were teaching each other at an exponential rate. Sir, a scanning officer reported, his voice barely a whisper. We are detecting unusual energy signatures from their abandoned military bases. The humans. They are combining our technology with their nuclear weapons. Fear began to spread through our ranks like a virus. Junior officers requested combat drones to accompany them on routine patrols. Administrative staff barricaded themselves in their quarters. Even the battle-hardened veterans began to look over their shoulders. Their resistance makes no sense, muttered War Master Kraz, his cybernetic eye scanning endless battle reports. Their tactics are unpredictable. They strike without pattern or reason. Every time we adapt our defenses, they change their approach. I received a priority message from the Eternal Dominion's chief engineer, a high counselor, the humans in our engine maintenance sector. They asked questions about our quantum drive. Simple questions. Obvious questions. Too obvious. They were probing for weaknesses, mapping out our technological foundations. And we just told them everything. Science Director Pelvora's voice shook as she delivered her analysis, their adaptability. It's not just physical. Their minds are like quantum computers, constantly rewriting themselves, constantly evolving. They don't just learn technology, they internalize it. They don't just copy our techniques, they revolutionize them. The final report that day came from a surviving guard at Processing Center 15. The humans. He gasped, neural patterns showing severe trauma. They are not just using our weapons, they are using them better than we do. It's like they understand our technology better than we do. How? How is this possible? I stood in the command center, watching as decades of Federation technological superiority was turned against us by a species we had dismissed as primitive. We had given them access to our technology, believing them too simple to comprehend it. We had demonstrated our weapons, believing them too limited to replicate them. We had shown them everything they needed to know to destroy us, believing them too inferior to do so. As alarms continued to blare and reports of breakouts flooded in, I remembered Queen Mind Senna Lux's warning from the council chamber. We should have studied them more carefully. We should have recognized the danger. Because now they weren't just resisting. They were evolving, adapting, becoming something new, something terrifying. And they were just getting started. The humans struck at precisely 0300 Federation Standard Time. Every processing center, every research facility, every resource extraction site, simultaneously. High Counselor Supreme Commander Kitha Dawn's voice crackled with static. They have developed some kind of quantum interference field. Our neural disruptors are useless. I watched in horror as our supposedly impenetrable defense systems crumbled. The humans had created handheld devices that generated localized quantum fields, rendering our most advanced weapons nothing more than expensive decorations. Impossible, War Master Kraz snarled, his cybernetic eye frantically scanning tactical displays. They couldn't have developed countermeasures so quickly. But they had. And that was just the beginning. The humans emerged from their underground networks wearing powered armor cobbled together from our mining equipment. They wielded weapons that combined their primitive projectile technology with our energy systems, creating devastating hybrid weapons that our shields weren't calibrated to stop. Processing Center 23 has fallen, a panicked officer reported. The humans, they have reprogrammed our security drones. They are using them to free more prisoners. Center 47 is gone too, another voice shouted. They have modified our teleportation technology. They are beaming captured Federation troops directly into holding cells. I watched in stunned silence as centuries of Federation military doctrine was rendered obsolete in minutes. The humans moved with impossible coordination, their attacks precise and devastating. They had learned our technologies, found their weaknesses, and engineered countermeasures for every single one. Sir Fleet Commander Exar Vin's tentacles writhed in distress. They are not just defeating us. They are humiliating us. Every tactic we use, they counter. Every strategy we employ, they turn against us. Ambassador Yix's voice trembled over the comm. The processing centers in the region they call Europe. All gone. The humans didn't just free their people. They reprogrammed our containment fields to hold our own troops. Then came the report that made my blood run cold. High Counselor, we are detecting unauthorized access to the Eternal Dominion systems. They have somehow breached our quantum encryption. Lock down all ships, I ordered. Shut down all non-essential systems. Too late, Science Director Pelvora whispered. They are not trying to hack our ships. They are rewriting our command protocols. They have turned our own automation systems against us. One by one, our mighty warships began powering down. Emergency systems activated, but those too were quickly subverted. The humans had learned our technology so thoroughly that they could control it better than we could. Fall back, I commanded. All forces, retreat to secondary positions. But there were no secondary positions. The humans had emerged everywhere at once, using our own teleportation technology to strike at multiple targets simultaneously. They appeared inside our secure facilities, bypassing our strongest defenses using security codes they had somehow extracted from our most encrypted databases. Sir, they have taken the planetary defense grid, a tactical officer screamed. They have modified the orbital platforms. Our own defense systems are targeting our ships. I watched in disbelief as beams of pure energy lanced out from Earth's orbit, cutting through our supposedly invincible warships like they were made of paper. The humans had not just learned to use our weapons, they had improved them, increased their efficiency beyond what we thought possible. How General Dron Thar demanded, how did they master our technology so quickly? The answer came from a human transmission, broadcast on all Federation frequencies. You gave us the keys to your kingdom, a calm voice announced. You showed us your technology, believing we couldn't understand it. You demonstrated your weapons, thinking we couldn't replicate them. You revealed your weaknesses, assuming we couldn't exploit them. More ships fell to the enhanced orbital defenses. Our ground forces found themselves trapped by their own containment fields, their weapons turned against them, their armor systems locked down by familiar yet foreign command codes. Sir, a bridge officer called out, panic evident in his voice. The humans, they are boarding the disabled ships. They are not just capturing them, they are improving them, adding their modifications, making them stronger. Trade Minister Zox Ren's scales had lost all color. They are not just using our technology anymore. They are transcending it. Every capture, every victory makes them stronger. They are learning, adapting, evolving with each engagement. I watched as human forces, now clad in hybrid armor that combined Federation technology with their own innovations, systematically captured ship after ship. They moved with practiced efficiency, as if they had been using our technology for centuries rather than weeks. High Counselor Queen Mind Senna Lux's hologram flickered urgently. We must withdraw. The humans, they are not just defeating us. They are absorbing our technological knowledge, improving it, and using it to capture more ships and facilities. It's an exponential cascade. The reports continued to flood in. Processing centers falling, ships being captured, Federation forces surrendering en masse as their weapons and armor were turned against them. The humans had turned our arrogance into their greatest weapon. Sir Fleet Commander Igzar Vin reported, his voice hollow, the humans have captured a quarter of our fleet. They are modifying the ships, adding their improvements. The captured vessels are now more powerful than our original designs. As I watched our mighty invasion force crumble, I finally understood our greatest mistake. We had judged the humans by their technological level, not their potential. We had measured their civilization by its achievements, not its capabilities. We had given them access to technology they hadn't developed yet, but their minds were more than ready to comprehend it. We had handed them the future, believing they were too primitive to grasp it. Now they grasped it better than we did, and they were using it to hunt us down, one ship at a time, growing stronger with each victory. All forces I transmitted, my voice shaking, full retreat. Abandon Earth orbit. Abandon all ground facilities. Retreat to the rally point and prepare for. The transmission cut off as another modified orbital defense platform fired, its enhanced beam cutting through our supposedly impenetrable shields like they were nothing more than illusions. The tables hadn't just turned. They had been completely flipped, smashed, and rebuilt into something we no longer recognized. And still, the humans were not done with us. Our retreat from Earth became a desperate race for survival. The humans pursued us relentlessly, using our own hyperspace technology with modifications that made their ships faster, more agile, more lethal than anything in Federation history. They are not just following our flight paths, reported Navigator Sin Lax. They are predicting them. Somehow they have analyzed our standard escape protocols and developed countermeasures. The remnants of our once mighty invasion fleet scattered across the stars, but the humans hunted us with terrifying precision. They had studied our tactical doctrines, our strategic protocols, our emergency procedures. They knew exactly where we would run. The Arcturus Confederation has closed their borders to Federation ships, Ambassador Yix announced, his tentacles trembling. They say they want no part in our miscalculation. One by one, our allies abandoned us. The Silicon Collective severed all quantum communications. The hive networks of Vega declared neutrality. The quantum consciousness of Sirius began dismantling their Federation embassy. Please, I transmitted to the pursuing human fleet, we request negotiations for an immediate cessation of hostilities. The response came back instantly, like the negotiations you offered Earth before invasion, the ones that ended in enslaving our people. Trade Minister Zox Ren's scales had turned almost white with fear. Counselor, the humans, they are not just pursuing us, they are systematically capturing every Federation outpost, every research station, every supply depot in their path. They are building an empire from our own infrastructure. Reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Human ships, enhanced with hybrid technology, appearing in system after system. They didn't just defeat Federation forces, they assimilated our technology, improved it, and used it to become even stronger. Sir Science Director Pelvora's voice shook. We have analyzed their tactical patterns. They are not just random attacks. Every move they make is part of a larger strategy. They are herding us, corralling us, forcing us exactly where they want us to go. The humans had turned our own tactical databases against us. They had absorbed centuries of Federation military doctrine in weeks, understood it better than we did, and developed counters for every strategy we knew. The Eternal Dominion is lost, Fleet Commander Zarvin reported. Humans breached the command deck using some kind of phase shift technology we'd theorized but never successfully built. They created it in days. Supreme Commander Kitha Dawn's metallic exoskeleton clicked nervously. They are not just copying our technology anymore. They are taking our theoretical research and making it reality. They are achieving in hours what took us decades to even conceive. A transmission cut through our emergency channels, broadcasting on all frequencies. The voice was calm, almost amused. You thought we were primitive because we hadn't developed certain technologies yet. You never asked why. You never considered that maybe, just maybe. We had chosen different paths of advancement, that we had focused on understanding principles rather than accumulating devices. War Master Kraz, his cybernetic eye frantically scanning tactical displays, finally understood their military history. Thousands of years of constant warfare. Different weapons, different technologies, but the principles remained the same. They didn't need advanced technology to understand advanced warfare. The humans had millennia of military experience, countless wars and conflicts that had honed their tactical and strategic thinking to a razor's edge. They hadn't needed our technology to be dangerous. We had simply given them better tools to apply their martial expertise. High Counselor Queen Mind Senna Lux's hologram appeared. The humans have developed something new, something terrible. They have combined their nuclear technology with our quantum fields to create weapons that can destabilize space-time itself. The humans hadn't just learned our technology, they had weaponized physics itself. They took our understanding of the universe and turned it into instruments of war that we had never imagined possible. Another Federation battle group lost in the Orion sector, reported General Drawn Thar. The humans didn't just defeat them, they predicted every move, every tactic, every strategy. It was like they were playing against children. As our forces crumbled and our allies deserted us, I finally realized the full magnitude of our mistake. We had invaded Earth believing we were targeting a primitive species. Instead, we had awakened a sleeping giant, a civilization that had spent its entire history preparing for exactly this kind of conflict. All remaining ships, I transmitted, my voice heavy with defeat, make course for the Federation capital. We must warn the Council. Oh, we are already here, the human voice interrupted. Your capital's defenses are quite impressive. We're impressive. We have made some improvements. Looking at the tactical display, I saw the truth. We hadn't been running from the humans. They had been hurting us, driving us exactly where they wanted us, using our own protocols and procedures against us. We had started this war believing we were the hunters. Now we were the prey, running from a predator we had created, armed with our own technology, driven by a martial genius we had fatally underestimated. And they were closing in for the kill. The Grand Council chamber felt different now. The same room where we had so arrogantly voted to enslave humanity now held the remnants of our shattered civilization. Representatives from 1,000 species huddled in their seats, watching as human forces secured the perimeter with our own technology, improved beyond recognition. This emergency session of the Galactic Federation will come to order, I announced, my voice hollow. The words tasted like ash in my mouth. The human delegation strode into the chamber. They wore no environmental suits, no protective gear. They had already adapted their bodies to survive in any atmosphere, using our own biological modification technology. Their hybrid armor gleamed with possibilities we had never imagined. The terms are simple, their lead negotiator announced. Her name was Admiral Sarah Martinez, and she spoke with the confidence of someone who held absolute power. Every species that voted for Earth's invasion will surrender their military assets, all of them. Protests erupted across the chamber. Supreme Commander Kitha Dawn's exoskeleton rattled with indignation. You cannot expect us to. We expect exactly that, Martinez interrupted. You invaded our world, enslaved our people, and in doing so you gave us everything we needed to surpass you. The humans projected a hologram showing their enhanced ships spreading across Federation space. They had taken our technology and evolved it into forms we barely recognized. Vessels that could phase through solid matter. Weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics. Defenses that made our most powerful weapons look like children's toys. But we are not you, Martinez continued. We will not enslave. We will not destroy. Instead, we offer a choice. Surrender your military capabilities to human oversight, and we will teach you. Science Director Pelvora's crystalline form pulsed with confusion. Teach us. Teach us what? Everything. How to think beyond the obvious. How to innovate rather than simply improve. How to see technology not as a collection of devices, but as a framework of possibilities. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The humans weren't offering mere mercy. They were offering evolution. Your civilization has stagnated, Martinez explained. You advance by small increments, building upon what you know. Humans ask why. We ask what if. We take apart the universe and rebuild it with questions you never thought to ask. War Master Kraz's cybernetic eye dimmed in resignation. And if we refuse? Then we will remember how you treated us when you thought you were superior. Choose wisely. The vote was even faster than the one that had sealed Earth's invasion. Species after species surrendered their military autonomy to human oversight. The mighty Galactic Federation, which had ruled the stars for millennia, voluntarily submitted to the guidance of a species they had dismissed as primitive mere months ago. As I recorded the final vote, Admiral Martinez approached my podium. High Counselor Czar of X, you started this war. It seems fitting that you should understand why you lost it. We underestimated you, I admitted. No, she corrected. You overestimated yourselves. You thought technology made you superior. You never understood that technology is just a tool. It's the mind that wields it that matters. Looking around the chamber now, I finally understood. We had spent thousands of years advancing our technology but had forgotten how to advance ourselves. The humans had survived and thrived precisely because they had been forced to adapt, to innovate, to think beyond the conventional. The Federation is yours, I declared formally. Martinez shook her head. No, High Counselor. The Federation is evolving. You tried to enslave humanity, but instead, you freed yourselves from your own limitations. Sometimes the best teachers are the ones who remind us how much we have yet to learn. As the human delegation departed, I remained at my podium, watching as the species that had once ruled the galaxy began their first lesson in true advancement. We had sought to conquer Earth and found ourselves conquered not by force, but by possibilities we had never imagined. We thought we were gods among primitives. Instead, we had become students of the very species we had tried to enslave, and somehow that felt like the greatest victory of all. The humans had not just defeated us, they had elevated us, and the galaxy would never be the same.